Wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. So I am here at the Mescal Movie Set. I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna see a whole lot of it. This place is freaking amazing. So I'm gonna read a little bit of what was filmed here, and it's pretty impressive. So it says Mescal Movie Set is one of the most recognizable Western cinematic towns. Lost myself. On the big screen, the iconic set was home to Tombstone, The Quick and the Dead, and over 100 other films. Notable actors such as Clint Eastwood from Outlaw Josie Wales, Steve McQueen, Tom Horn, Paul Newman, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, Lee Marvin from Monty Walsh, all films walk in here in this town. Not only that, but it was also used for episodes of Bonanza, Gunsmoke, which I love, The Magnificent Seven, Rawhide, and Little House on the Prairie. Whenever they went into town, this is where they were. And you'll also remember it as the town of Sweetwater in the Young Riders. But it's really cool that they have all kinds of really, this thing's blowing all over the place, filmed at the Mescal. Oh wow, there's a ton of movies that were shot here. Winchester 73, Big Country, Rawhide, Cimarron, Monty Walsh, Dirty Dingus McGee, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, let's see, some of the other ones. How the West Was Won was filmed here. The Frisco Kid, The Gambler, Calamity Jane was here. Desperado was filmed here. Let's see, Billy the Kid. Let's see, Young Riders, Tombstone, obviously. A whole bunch of them, man. Buffalo Soldiers was here. Ambush at Dark Canyon. Holy crap, there's a ton of stuff filmed here, but it's really cool. So hopefully I'll be able to film a bunch of the stuff. Inside the pamphlet they give you, they show you. You have the livery, which is the Tom Horn blowing all over the place. Livery saddle. You have Virgil's Cottage. That's Virgil Earp, right? Wyatt's Cottage, obviously Wyatt Earp. You have From the Quick and the Dead, the Tonsorial, which is like the barbershop type thing. You have a cigar shop that was filmed in Tombstone, and let's see, the Mercantile, which Outlaw Josie West people, you're gonna remember that one. The Tombstone Bank. Let's see, one of the restaurants that was used in Tombstone. The theater from Life and Times of Judge Rudy Bean. Let's see, you have the feed store from Tombstone. Also the Dragon Saloon, and Tom Horn, it was the sheriff's office. So a lot of these are in Outlaw Jersey Wales. It was the barber shop. A lot of these have different uses from different movies. So like the hotel in Tombstone, the Grand Hotel, was also the Pigeon's Nest Hotel in The Quick and the Dead, and in Dirty Dingus McGee, it was Bell's Place. Young Riders, Outlaw Josie Wales, Farhaven, all had the same church. And then there's a trading post, dress shop, Crystal Palace. I mean, pretty much everything from all these movies was right here. Let me give you a good shot of it. I mean, right there. Look at this, man. The Owl Club. Look at that building. It is just awesome. And you have this. The whole surrounding. It's just amazing. How many movies and shows did we watch where they came galloping through these streets? Oh, hey, baby. Hey, sexy bitch. So, I mean, we know this stuff. We grew up with this stuff. And I get to walk through it today. I mean, Tombstone was filmed right here. All those shots were people getting shot in the face. Is all right here. It's just amazing. So getting a shot right here as the sun starts to set, you imagine the cowboys scurrying into town, and the horses would have come from like over here, and the shot would have been facing down here, and they would have come around this corner, right? They would have come around here, galloped straight through. And these are the shots. Quick and the Dead, man. They had the all the duels were right here. It's just freaking awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Arizona is crazy cool. I'm going to try and get some shots of a lot of these places. I'll try for you. In 1950, Charlton Heston stood right here, looked out there and said, hell yeah, let's film here. Then they built it all.
Does everybody know Tom Horn? Who he was? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, there's a couple books.
Right there's some movie blood.
Oh, we got Sunset guys.
That there is Wyatt Earp's house. I think that one's Virgil's. And we even got a sunset. Anybody watching the movies, you would have watched that same scene.
Come in here and they head downtown. There it is, in Tombstone. And they stop by the hotel, and that's where they meet the mayor, the sheriff.
So in the movie, after the gunfight at the Old K Corral in the movie Tombstone, this is where the funeral procession went down, right here. And the made-up Boot Hill Cemetery is right behind Virgil's house. There you go, the tonsorial. This was in Quick of the Dead, Tombstone.
We actually have some unique
just freaking awesome.
Are available. So does everybody remember a scene where there's Curly Bill comes out of an opium den?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was a tent right here. Comes out, starts shooting at the moon, and then that's when Sheriff Fred White. Well, actually, a crowd kind of builds over there, and they tell
kills
Fred
Sheriff White.
Well, the mayor says he's got to come over and do something. Tombstone had signs actually on their side, kind of like they were drying, something like that. So, the next building is an interesting building. It's a mercantile, but it's been a bank. It's had a lot of different morphosis over the years. It was actually built by Clint Eastwood's production company for a movie called Outlaw Josie Wales.
Damn, Outlaw Josie Wales. This is super cool. Sunset's looking nice back there.
Yeah, I'm sorry the air conditioning's off. But we'll see if we can get the
Let's go see what Clint Eastwood saw.
But I'll try to do my best to. So, Outlaw Josie Wales. So we have a short.
Here he is, right there on the
Time
wall.
we spend in here, but this is the building where Josie Wales and Chief James George come in to get their supplies.
Pause.
So he's in there.
Quick in the
They come
Dead story.
With, Russell Crowe to get him a gun, and they go through all that, and he ends up with the junkiest, crappiest gun in town.
One bullet.
On out. Now Leonardo DiCaprio, his part was insured, so to speak, by Sharon Stone. The producers and director did not want Leonardo DiCaprio to be in the movie because he was too young and unknown. 19 years old. Sharon Stone said, if you don't let him in, I'll pay him if you don't. He's in the movie.
That's crazy.
So she was kind of an executive producer. She put in some money. So that, and that all transpired for that. And it turned out to be a pretty good thing. In fact, last year, he actually sent a letter to, and posted it in Variety magazine of the trade, thanking Sharon Stone for the opportunity to start in the film business that way. There's a movie that was filmed here a couple
this
years ago.
place right here, this little barn,
A lot of the
on
smaller,
the other side of it, it's a barn. So if you needed a barn in a movie, that's good. If you needed a school or a church, you just come to the other side. They built it like
hotel
that.
was built like a Crown Affair.
Oh, that was classic. I
really
like that, yeah.
much better than the remake.
Oh, yeah.
The remake
Yeah.
was a travesty.
Exactly. Exactly. I hate how the
This is amazing.
Come on in, guys.
So much movie history here. Upstairs in this hotel, in that corner room right above
We can't
us,
go upstairs, sorry.
is where Doc Holliday and Big Nose Kate stayed while in Tombstone. Let's see, everybody's going out that door. We're gonna come out this door. And right there is the memorable room from Tombstone.
Yeah.
right here,
Yep.
and then there was a
couple out there, and they probably
This
had
is
some.
amazing. Guys, you gotta come out to Arizona. And this is right down the road pretty much
Yeah,
from
the corner was
Tombstone,
added.
the real
The
Tombstone.
accent there.
You can come here and see Tombstone in a movie and then walk actual Tombstone.
What was kind of funny because the demise of the building was the snow, but there was a scene because this was all happening in Wyoming.
That's my spot.
Tom Horn movie. Johnny Ringo on the porch there, and that's
Bill
when
and
Wyatt
Johnny
turns
Ringo.
to him and said, "Well, it's over," and he said, "Well, bye."
That's
and
the
then Johnny
spot.
Ringo said, "It sounds like somebody died." And
Oh,
of course,
great
Morgan's
scene.
body was in the wagon. The next is Jersey Lily, and that was in Life and Times
This
of
guy
Judge
was
Roy
in that
Bean.
movie.
This gentleman's personal friend, Paul Newman.
Yeah, I wish.
So
Actually, I got to see him.
that building's been in a bunch of different movies, lots of movie memories. And that guy right there
Mid-Ohio.
was in one of the movies. He was an extra.
He was a very good. Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. It was his home. It was a courthouse. It was a bar. It was actually a bear lived in the house too. Yeah, there you go.
There's a memory for him.
Walk around the corner. There's a sign that says the Jersey Lily.
It's kind of funny. It's like full circle for this old guy. That movie was filmed a long time ago.
This is a real chuck wagon, guys.
Real chuck wagon. That's the dining cart.
I this from some folks down in Nogales. And
That's
this
cool.
still's got all the. Hey, guys. Here. That's from Judge Roy Bean.
Judge Roy
One of
Bean.
Derek's was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hey, check this out.
This was in the movie Judge Roy Bean, which I know you'll get and you'll watch soon. There's oil derricks up and down the street, oil country. This was actually one of the derricks.
One of the signs from the movie
So
he's
he kind
talking
of
about.
preserved it by closing it up. Generally, everything gets.
Movie magic. You wouldn't see that in the film. Oh, the OK Corral right here. It actually looks like the OK Corral in Tombstone.
Well, that's because it is.
Oh.
This is where it was filmed.
No, I mean the real one in Tombstone when you go over.
Well, yeah,
It looks like
those
this.
are loafing sheds. And that's the OK Corral. The gunfight actually happened behind it.
So this is, I showed you guys in a different video where the actual gunfight happened, the gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone. Went over there and saw the hollowed ground and stood right there. And I even filmed the entire shootout at the OK Corral. In the movie with Wyatt Earp, this is where it actually happened.
Nice breeze. You see, there's what's left of a building straight out from here.
Yeah,
That collapsed
right there.
a couple years ago. Most of the fencing, a lot of the wood of the Jersey Lily, some of the other buildings that we've put back together has been harvested out of that building. That building was built for the movie Buffalo Soldiers with Danny Glover.
Great
That was
movie.
filmed out here. There's another building over
Okay,
there that
Corral.
the Young Riders TV show, that was their main set, was over there. And then they filmed in different spots. Now, on occasion, Joseph kind of mentioned it where it took somebody all overnight to get from the house to the doctor's office, or from the doctor's office there. We've had where, well, in that movie, you had one town and then they went to another town and it just made it look like it. Because then they would do some scenes out near some rocks or someplace and make it look like they were traveling a long distance. We've actually had two production companies on the set at the same time
Wow.
making different movies, but at just different ends of the
That's
ends of the
crazy.
building. Because if
So,
you're a cow,
Cattle
and
runs
you got
free
an
through
itch
here
right
too.
here,
It's a cattle
these
farm.
adobe bricks are really good to scratch that itch.
And so the reason these
So,
bricks
and
fell
they
down,
wear
he's
that,
saying,
and then Mother
it's because the
Nature
cows come and scratch
does.
themselves
Yeah,
on these little
cowboys
walls,
over here, we've got
so they have to
the Vikings.
refix
We
them.
got the Earps, Doc Holliday over here. They come around. Fly's Photo Studios right here, which is right there in Tombstone if you've been there.
Yeah.
And so this is where they all line up. And so we have Doc Holliday here, and he's got his jacket on. Dons a jacket, takes a jacket, and he's got the shotgun that Virgil gave him to to start shooting, a magic shotgun. Doc had a couple magic guns. So he fired that double barrel shotgun 3 times, and he never reloaded. And just about then, Ike Glanton, who doesn't
It's a
have
two-shot
gun,
rifle.
runs over here and runs into Fly's photo studio. Sheriff
Yeah, this is
Behan's
where
inside Fly's
Ike
photo
jumped through the
studio
window.
with Josephine Marcus, who's getting some photography done, and he sticks his hand through a window right there and starts shooting. That's when Doc pulls out his 2 6-shooters and fires about 20 rounds. Now the movie took 3 days
crazy.
to film.
It was right
3.5
here.
days actually to film this section of the OK Corral shootout.
This is
3.5 days.
movie gold
and they,
right
they
here.
fired about 3,000 rounds of blanks. The real OK Corral shootout took about 30 seconds,
Yeah.
and they used about 110 different rounds. Attached to the Jersey Lily.
Used to be attached. Being a movie prop, they move it. Paul Newman, that was his like bedroom.
Everybody take a drink.
The jail.
Another thing I remember, it would take so long when you actually see the movie. It was only like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about Wyatt's Vendetta Ride. And then we're going to go talk about Morgan's demise. Everybody remember where there's a barber shop and there's a horse that comes through the window?
Yeah.
That was right here. Came through that window there. Now that really happened. Obviously a lot of sugar glass. A real horse. It took about 3 or 4 weeks to train the horse. And the trainer was obviously in here.
Jumped right through that window.
Strips of plastic, and the horse would go through it, and they give him a reward, and then they kept repeating that, and then finally they said, we're going to do the scene. So Wyatt comes in, boom, 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 starts shooting. The only thing that they forgot to do was tell the horse there were going to be about 15 people in here with cameras and lights, and the horse kind of freaked out, but they got the shot. It was all good. Now, this is one of those ceilings that is real high, as you see, and I think there's probably a production note or two up
Those
there,
are
too.
production notes.
I want to
right
show you
there.
something,
They tack
too.
into the ceiling.
But this is not wallpaper. This is just bolts of fabrics that's stapled up there, and then we use the furring strips to cover it up. So not everything you see is what it actually is. For instance, this was not here for Tombstone. This was built for another movie. They wanted this jail cell, and they wanted this noise. They wanted to hear that when it closed. Rather than have to do that whole thing with the iron, we just made our own pieces here. So those are PVC pipe, and these crossbars are wood. So that's a real thing. So if you want to take a picture, want to ever see a loved one in jail, watch your step, guys. No, it's okay.
See the bats flying around.
The back is a little bit different than the fronts.
I want to get a picture of the street. The street like I did with Tombstone.
So this is the back of the Oriental. They didn't finish it like they did the front. This is where they filmed. You could see poker table right there. This is where they filmed the Oriental. Wyatt Earp walked in and he slapped the snot out of Billy Bob Thornton. This is it right here, guys. That means this spot right here is where Virgil would have been shot, because he got shot in the street in between the Oriental and the next building. Awesome.
This is
Looks a little different in the movie. You got a bat flying around inside.
Well, I'm standing in the Oriental Saloon.
Big nose Kate
You guys
right there.
are standing in the Campbell and Hatch billiard parlor. Before Tombstone was filmed, this was in really bad shape. So they tore the building down and they built a new one. They built it as 2 buildings: billiard parlor, Oriental Saloon. George Cosmato was the director, as I told you. And he said, I can't get the shots. This wall needs to go. So they took the wall out. They put rollers on the billiard table. They put rollers on the bar, and they moved it around for the shot. So, Oriental Saloon. We have Wyatt coming through the door. Makes a deal with the owner bartender to be a dealer, and that dealer that's at that round table,
Billy Bob
the barrel
Thornton.
dealer that's right there, is a young and
Billy
portly Billy Bob Thornton, who's we all know is still on TV, and he's doing a pretty good job.
Get the sunset through the window.
So he's standing there, and he takes over. So later on, there's a big crowd, a lot of stuff going on. Business is booming now that Wyatt's dealing, and the Earps are working it. And we've got Virgil, Morgan, Wyatt, Doc, and there's a crowd around. And here comes Curly Bill and Johnny Ringo. So they go in
The
there.
teacup scene.
They go back and forth. And Johnny Ringo and Doc are acquainted for the first time, supposedly. So that's when they have this back and forth with the Italian, or not the Italian, the Latin.
The Latin,
excuse
yeah.
me. Anyway, that goes back and forth. Then that's when Johnny Ringo pulls his gun out, starts doing the
Spinning.
spinning, and then Doc stands up, takes his cup, does the same thing. In reality, what happened was they practiced that a lot. The two things that they practiced a lot, they practiced the spinning of the glass, of the whiskey cup, and the gun. They also were taught Latin. They both did not know Latin, and they did for the movie. Doc Holliday could not, or I'm sorry, Val Kilmer could not.
This
play
damn
the
history.
piano.
Damn, she's pretty.
But they said, well, don't worry about it. The scene where we're going to do that, we'll have somebody play the piano, and we'll just film it as your hands. And no, he wouldn't do that. Val Kilmer was what they called a method actor. When he walked on the set, he was Doc Holliday. When he left, he was on the set. Does anybody remember the movie where he played Jim Morrison?
Yep.
The Doors. His wife said it took a year and a half of she was tired of living with Jim Morrison a year and a half after the movie was produced, because she said he was not Val Kilmer, and eventually they got divorced. And one of the biggest reasons was because his inability to shed the character. And
Imagine
I think
that.
over time maybe
He was
did.
Doc Holliday every time he went home.
But, yeah, when he walked on that's who he was, and there was nothing about it. At the time, so we have Morgan laying on the table. He's been shot right through the window there. They're not going to shoot. You don't have to move. He's lying on the table. There's a lot of tension going on. There's a lot of screaming going on. He's hollering. The Doc's hollering. Wyatt's covered. They're all covered in blood. The dog is barking. His wife comes in. Morgan's wife comes in. She starts screaming. Wyatt says, "Get her out of here," and then he dies. And
In the movie.
he runs out, and it's pouring down rain. He's in the rain. Josephine Marcus comes over to console him. He chases her off. Now, a few weeks ago, we had a few tours that were kind of dedicated to Val Kilmer after he passed away. And just a funny little story about that. I'm in here talking with folks just like you guys, and I think I told you one of the events that we had, several of our legends come out. Emily Blanton, the girl that was upstairs in Tombstone, was there. Well, we had 7 or 8 of those, and also one of the other guests that came that day was Bob Mazurowski, who was the producer of Tombstone. So I'm sitting there, I'm standing here talking to you guys, and I look, and standing there is Bob Mazurowski.
He wasn't that nice
And
looking.
he kind of went, "Can I say something?" You say whatever you want, you know. So he goes, "Well, first of all, everything you said is exactly right." So I felt a whole lot better. But he said when they it was bone dry out there. There was no rain. They made their own rain. In order to make the rain that they wanted to do for the shot that George Cosmatos wanted to do, they needed 6 tanker loads. Well, they were out of money. They were very short of money at that point. And they had 2 tanker trucks, and they made the shot. But apparently, Kurt Russell was very upset with the way they changed the shot. And he actually got Bob Mazeroski out of bed in his hotel to come down and tell him what he thought about it. And it was not nice. So, but that was kind of a funny thing that happened, and as a historian, that's something I'll always remember. You know.
Yeah, in the movie, it shows after this happened, Virgil gets shot, but that wasn't for like months later.
Right.
The timelines were a little
well,
thrown off,
they
and
sped it
he
up.
didn't die right away, and his wife wasn't even here. She was, I think, in California or something. She was visiting family.
Yeah.
Where do all these stuff, where did all of that stay?
Look at that.
I know, that's awesome. I got it through. Like when we were coming through one of the buildings, you could see straight through the window
Oh, yeah?
of one of the buildings. So I look at Benson. Or no, yeah, that's Benson. Yeah. I thought, or no, that might. Oh, look at the lightning.
I'm gonna go to the gift shop.
Yeah, me
Look
too.
at the extra stuff here.
Nighttime. I forgot to press play, but this is what you would have seen in the movie at night. Just awesome. In the movie, you would see the fake candles, but during that scene, it was fake rain, and you couldn't see the beautiful sunset. This is awesome.
When you walked out of the
Talking about Josie
work
Wales.
conceal,
This is where the gunfight was.
and the snake oil salesman recognized them and said, "Oh my God, it's Josie Wales." So when he did that, the whole town just stopped. 4 soldiers came out of this building right here, right there on that.
The Oriental.
And that's when he told them, "Are you going to stand there, or are you going to whistle Dixie?" Or he actually said, "Are you going to whistle Dixie or pull those irons?" He shoots them all, and then he rides off.
Josie Wales happened right here.
That was
That's like a presser board. It's not actual brick. Movie magic. Wow, this place is set up. This place is set up. I mean, imagine at nighttime. No real lights, just candles. Walking through here. Oh, look at this place. All these, there's Judge Bean. Judge Roy Bean. Paul Newman.
Guys, this is the last stop.
Cooking the dead.
This is Redemption Saloon. I mentioned that some of the people that we
Buffalo
have to come
Soldiers,
out
Danny
are
Glover.
what we call the legend. And we're going to meet one of the legends tonight. She's right over here.
Amazing. Standing in freaking history.
This is Sammy, the cat. She's been here for 13 years.
Sammy the Cat,
Been
13
bit
years.
by rattlesnakes, chased by cattle, a lot of different things. So I don't say you guys seen the Redemption Saloon. So we have Russell Crowe is on a chair right here with a rope around his neck. We've got Gene Hackman over here sitting on the chair, and Leonardo DiCaprio and Sharon Stone are by that window. And Gene Hackman starts shooting out the bottom of the chair rails because he wants Court to be in the duels. This is the
Oh, it's the
board that
duel
was in the
chart.
duels in the movie. It's actually
That's
a replica
awesome.
of it.
That's cool.
Kind of looks like a March Madness schedule, right? Where you have the last man
The
standing.
brackets.
Yeah, brackets, that's it. And just about the time that the chair's about ready to fall, that's when Sharon Stone says she wants to be in it. Gene Hackman says, girls can't shoot, and then she shoots down the road.
Awesome. All right, so that ended the tour. We're going to go over to the gift shop. This was fantastic. If you get a chance, come out to Benson, Arizona. Look this place up. Freaking movie history here. Freaking awesome. All right, well, that's it for this one. Hi, I'm Donnie all day. Until next video.